Okay, so first let's start with how this concept of hooking up started to gain popularity. Okay, because it's very difficult to actually hook up when you don't have one thing that is allowing this thing to gain so much popularity. Any guesses on what that is? It's nothing else but contraception. The only reason that people can hook up is contraception. Okay, the ability to enjoy without having the consequences. Also, we think there are consequences, but we don't have to deal with pregnancy today, unwanted children. Back in the day, if you hook up with someone, there's a good chance that the woman is going to get pregnant. This itself deterred women from hooking up because there was no such thing. You couldn't just hook up. It's not, you can't have casual sex. That the word, these two words, casual sex. There's nothing casual about sex. The only thing that's casual about casual sex is how casually they put the word casual in front of sex. Every sexual encounter is going to have a consequence. Whether you know it or not, that's a different thing. And these consequences are devastating. Okay, I think that's the right word. It may sound like a very heavy word to use, but devastating, I think, is the right word because it is pretty much going to render you unmarriable. So this is going to have a different effect for men and women. Okay, it's different, but it's equally bad. And so you need to understand that nobody can escape from these consequences. And by unmarriable, I mean to say that you can still go and get married, but you're just going to have a very, very pathetic time being married. Either the marriage is going to break, or you're just going to suffer. You can make it work, but it's going to be a lifetime of suffering. So we can start with ladies. We'll start with ladies because ladies first. How is it going to affect women? Okay, it's going to affect the effect that it has on women is going to be on their ability to actually have a meaningful bond with the guy. Okay, and also you need to understand how a woman's sex drive works in contrast to a man's. Okay, a man is not necessarily looking for the best, he's looking for the most. Okay, men are looking for the most, women are looking for the best. So when a woman has had many encounters, okay, she inevitably is gonna compare the guy she has right now to all the guys that she's been with. And if she wouldn't have been with those guys, there would be no comparison and she would be happy. For example, let's look at our black and white phones. Remember our original mobile phones? Remember there was a time we were actually impressed with those phones? Can you be impressed with those phones now? No, you can't because now you have HD screens, 4K screens, right? You're not going to be impressed with a black and white phone now simply because you know what the modern phones are, right? But if you never knew it, you would still be impressed with it. That's the thing. So this is how it's going to affect women. It's going to make it ridiculously hard for her to actually bond with the man. It's going to make it hard for her to have a connection. And most probably she's going to want to cheat. She's going to want to divorce. Like, okay, it's a very common thing today. You know, divorce is like just like a breakup today. But yeah, that's how it affects women. And how it's going to affect men, because it does affect men. Now, luckily for men, it does not affect their ability to have a bond with a woman. You can still have a bond with a woman, but men that who have had a lot of sexual partners, the moment they actually get into a relationship, okay, one of the two things happen. If they get into a relationship, if they marry a woman that they don't really love, he's gonna end up cheating on her, and she's gonna sniff it out eventually. Okay, maybe not now, but sooner or later, and she's not going to respect him for that, and there's going to be a lot of arguments, and not it's not going to be pleasant. Or if he actually falls in love with this woman, what's going to happen is, because he has wired his brain to be so feminine, which is actually feminine. Okay, when a man acts on lust is an emotion. If you're acting on an emotion, you're actually acting feminine. So actually, acting on lust is feminine. You're wiring your brain to act on a feeling, which means when you actually have a feeling for this woman, you're going to crumble. you're not going to be able to lead this woman. The woman is going to boss over you. And this is very, very common. You see these player kind of guys, they have a lot of women and they seem to have their way with women till one day they fall for one woman and that woman completely destroys them. So in the both the cases, whether it's a man or a woman, you're going to have to deal with the consequences. So yeah, at the moment, it's gonna feel like we're all doomed. And you know what? If we don't do anything about it, we are actually doomed. You can get married and see for yourself if you want. But there is still hope. You can find yourself and completely destroy your ego, which has actually been the one that has made you do these things. And once you destroy your ego, you're going to reach a point where you stop looking for a partner altogether. And that's when you know you're ready for marriage. The moment you're okay you're okay being alone, and then you find a partner. And even if you don't find it, it's not going to make a difference to you. Yeah, so that's the truth. Always prefer the truth. Peace.